everybody, welcome to another episode from Ampro Engineering and happy 2018. My 2018 started out a little bit rough. I have been sick since New Year's Day, so unfortunately this video that I wanted to get out about a week ago, I've had to delay significantly. So what I wanted to cover on this video a week ago is that MIP has started the pre-sales for the MIP ball differential set for the Tamiya Hotshot series cars. This is MIP's part number 17160. This kit comes with the front and rear ball differential sets, as well as a free tool that will help you to modify the transmission housing to accept a larger flanged ball bearing. So the assemblies are going to be a little bit different than the way that the current Hotshot ball differential is installed. This is designed for the re-release Hotshot, the re-release Bigwig, the Super Shot, or I think Tamiya calls it the Super Hotshot now, and I believe, but don't quote me, I believe it will also fit the Boomerang. I wish I had more in-depth knowledge to pass on to you about this. However, when MIP approached me about this particular project, they asked if they could borrow one of my Hotshots, and yeah, I don't actually have any Hotshots. So I had to get a couple of Hotshots, an original and a re-release, from a friend of mine in Texas. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, man. We then did some testing on these cars, and that was when I discovered the necessity for the ball differential on the Hotshot. Now, the Hotshot has a very similar differential as the Blackfoot does. The Blackfoot, however, has a problem where the transmission housings, because they're made out of stamped metal, will separate. They'll flex under load and cause the differential to make that horrible clicking sound and wear prematurely. Now, though the Hotshot has a similar issue with the differential wearing prematurely, it is not nearly as problematic as the Blackfoot, and probably will never happen in a Hotshot unless you are running more powerful motors, which is very common for people today. Because now you have the introduction of brushless motors, and it's a lot easier to put big power to those wheels. But that actually isn't the main issue with the Hotshot's original diffs. I say Hotshot as an umbrella term for the whole Hotshot series. Under hard cornering, the inside wheels will reduce the amount of weight that is on them, thanks to physics. And because the differentials are open, open means that the diff simply has the ability to turn freely because it is a gear diff. You will lose a tremendous amount of speed just by turning the vehicle. A ball differential does not have the same problem. A ball differential will allow you to put a very, very viscous grease in that differential and allow the vehicle to almost act like it does not have a differential under acceleration, and under turns allow that inside tire not nearly as much freedom to spin wildly, while the outside tire, the tire under all the load, sits there and does absolutely nothing. So the huge benefit of this differential is going to be a performance increase, not a longevity increase like on the Blackfoot, where those diffs, the factory diffs, would last weeks instead of the MIP diff here, which is going to last millennia. The Hotshot family has more of a performance issue than not. So here's what we're talking about. Like the Blackfoot, 250 units must be sold. Not individual diffs, 250 sets, which means a front diff, a rear diff, and the tool. The complete set is $115. The Blackfoot diff is $60. So here you can see that the two diffs and the tool are less than the just buying two Blackfoot differentials. So they have been able to get the price down, but we are talking about economy of scale here. MIP is not going to sell 26,000 of these differentials. The target is 250. And thusly, they cannot price this to have their return on investment to occur after 10,000 units. They understand that there are people that are obsessed with these cars, but they also understand that there's not as many of them as more modern vehicles. So currently it is on pre-sales. So place your order. You will use your credit card, place the order with MIP. It will not be sold through distributors, and this is another reason to keep the prices down. So it must be purchased through MIP. Your credit card will be billed. However, if the number is not hit, then your credit card will be refunded the total amount of money. So you will not be out anything if the project does not hit the intended numbers. In order to hit that 250 units though, we need your help. Whether or not you even own a Hotshot, if you could just plaster this information on whatever Facebook page you're on, whatever forum you're on, whatever Instagram, you name it, slap it everywhere, because even though you may not have a Hotshot, MIP understands that there is a market for these vintage vehicles, and they're not just making trash, okay? They're making really desirable, necessary parts for these old school cars, and they have a lot more plans. However, if they can't get these ones off the ground initially, then there's a lot less incentive for them to say, okay, well, now we can make a universal telescopic axle for the Blackfoot. That's what I'm here for. I've had a world of hurt with forums. Tamiya Club. Excuse me. Throat's been killing me here. Where these posts gathering information on the vehicles perpetually get slammed into the sales section. Allow me to be abundantly clear. I've spent years now trying to progress the development of the Blackfoot differential and now this Hotshot differential. And it seems that there's a lack of fundamental understanding as to what it is like to gather community help to push something into fruition versus just getting random companies advertising for their products. It's a vastly different goal here. So anyway, that said, I am no longer going to use certain websites, certain forums any longer to help with these projects because they But however, I think better places are going to be Instagram, Facebook. Those of you out there speaking non-English languages, if you are capable of putting this on, Italian websites, Scandinavian websites, German websites, Chinese, Japanese, Polish, Russian, Brazilian websites, please do so. We need to make this happen. We need to show MIP that there is a small but slightly insane vintage community out there that wants these parts, and we can see that MIP is listening to the little guy and believes in us. And in closing, remember, this is designed for the re-release cars, but can be installed in the vintage cars if you install the updated dog bones and stub axles. So it's not going to be a direct drop-in for the vintage cars. It is going to be a direct drop-in for the re-release cars with the addition of the reamed hole in the transmission cases, which you will get the ream included in the... We have a couple more weeks of the pre-sales. Let's make it happen, and let's just plaster the internet with this information. So thank you all very much for your assistance. I know there's a lot of you out there, probably most of you watching this, don't even care about the Hotshot, but I know you might care about some other future upgrades from MIP, and that's what I am here for. I'm here to help the community because I know MIP is going to keep making stuff for us because we're going to show them how much we want upgrades for our beloved cars. So thank you all so much for watching. I've got some stuff coming up soon. I haven't touched a computer in about 2 weeks because I've just been so under the weather, so I do apologize for that. But a lot of updates to come, and I can't wait for the episode where we install the brand new MIP ball diff in the Hotshot because I have never even taken one apart, so that'll be interesting. So again, thank you all so much for watching and have a happy 2018.